A pressure washing business could be your ticket to a 6 to 7 figure income. With its low startup costs and favorable pricing, starting a pressure washing business is one of the best opportunities out there for aspiring entrepreneurs. That's not to say that setting up a power washing business is going to be easy. Getting any business off the ground takes a substantial amount of legwork. But if you have the equipment or can afford to invest in it, you can indeed become financially independent with this side hustle. But as always, there are a few things to consider before you completely dive into this business idea. So in this video, we'll be addressing all of the questions you should ask yourself before starting a pressure washing business, and tell you whether it's really as profitable as it seems. Let's take a look. Why pressure washing? Pressure washing businesses tend to be scalable. You can start off with a relatively small budget and then expand over time as you take on more clients. As of 2021, the global pressure washing market had a market share of $2.6 billion and is expected to continue to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 4.4%. This means by 2030, the pressure washing market is predicted to reach $3.9 billion. As you can see, there is a ton of potential for you to start making bank. Plus, you can target several types of customers. From homeowners to apartment complexes and commercial establishments, just about everyone could benefit from your services. Some pressure washing companies specialize in one specific area, like driveways or patios, while others offer window and chimney cleaning services as an additional option. And one of the best things about the side hustle is that once you've developed a good relationship with your customers, they'll likely return on a regular basis and even send new clients your way. Pressure wash like a pro. If you're going to be starting a pressure washing business, you really should learn how to do so professionally. By learning how to pressure wash the right way, you'll learn how to clean your customer surfaces without damaging the surrounding area. Highly pressurized water has the potential to damage plants, flowers, and even homes, which will almost certainly cost you a repeat client. Assuming that you're serious about getting into the pressure washing business, there are plenty of books written on the subject to help you learn the ropes. Although in most cases, it's easier to learn the skill by watching someone who already knows how to do it well. Obviously, if you know someone personally who is already a pressure washer, that would be a good starting point to learn the ins and outs of things. But if you don't, there are literally thousands of videos on YouTube that will help you get started. That being said, you can watch videos day in and day out, but you won't really be able to get a feel for things until you get your hands on a pressure washer and actually get some practice in. If you don't already have access to a pressure washer, you can always borrow one from a friend or rent one from a store like Lowe's or Home Depot. Practice cleaning things like your driveway, fences, boats, garbage cans, lawnmowers, patio furniture, and even the patio itself. You won't immediately become a pressure washing expert overnight, but you will gain a pretty decent foundation to build upon. Plus, while you hone your skills with your own belongings, the mistakes you make won't be nearly as consequential as they would be when cleaning your first customer's home. Startup costs. Profit is key to any business succeeding, and it's always a function of your income minus your costs. And that said, there are several types of expenditures and startup costs that go along with power washing. First, you have your pressure washing equipment, such as the washer itself, pumps, surface cleaners, chemicals, and nozzles. These will likely run you anywhere from $2,000 to $25,000, depending on how serious you want to get with your equipment. Beginners are usually better off starting with used or rental equipment to keep expenses on the lower side of this range. Most pressure washer companies use a tow-behind trailer, which also inflates this number quite a bit. But if you already have a large enough truck bed or van, that could work just as well. Besides gear, you'll also need to factor in things like insurance, business permits, and contractor license costs, which we'll discuss more in a moment. Your next major expense will likely be advertising costs. In order to secure your first customers, you'll likely need to run ads or distribute pamphlets and flyers. It's also a pretty good idea to make sure that your business is listed in the local phone directory, depending on the type of demographic you want to reach. You could probably get away with starting your business from home, but as you scale up, you might want to look into renting an office or retail space. Depending on the location, this could cost anywhere from $500 to $2,500 a month. Fortunately, after the upfront costs, your operational expenses should be quite affordable. The biggest is likely to be transportation. With fuel costs being as high as they are these days, it could seriously cut into your profits. Having a fuel-efficient vehicle helps, but you will inevitably need some kind of van or truck to lug around all of your equipment. Besides fuel, cleaning products, equipment repair, maintenance, and water are just about your only other expenses. In some cases, you may even be able to tap into your customer's water source, which will cost you nothing. Insurance, permits, and licenses. Keeping your business up and running is going to require you to keep up with a bit of paperwork. You also need to keep everything compliant on the legal side of things. First, you'll need to apply for a business license to operate your pressure washing business. In many places, this is as easy as acquiring a state-sanctioned small business license. One of these can cost anywhere from $25 to several $100s, depending on where you live. You're also going to need to get some liability insurance. Pressure washing liability insurance, fortunately, is fairly affordable. Some providers offer policies as low as $25 a month, and this will protect you should anything go wrong on the job. If you're planning on hiring additional workers, you will need to obtain some sort of workers' compensation insurance. The median workers' comp premium rate is $47 a month, or about $560 annually. Depending on your local laws and regulations, you might also need to acquire a contractor permit to operate. Once again, the cost of this shouldn't be too high. At the most, you might need to pay $50 a month. And since no one wants to end up making enemies with the IRS, you'll also need to register your business to obtain an EIN number and do everything by the book. Setting your prices. Once everything is up and running, your last job is to set your prices and get to work. The average cost of pressure washing services ranges somewhere between 35 cents and 77 cents per square foot. If you decide to charge by the hour, the average price per hour is between $50 and $150. When coming up with an estimate of what to charge your customers, you should try to arrive at a rate that strikes a balance between profit for you and affordability for your customers. Generally speaking, you should be aiming to make at least 100% profit off of each job. This means if a driveway costs your business $60 to clean, then you should be charging your client at least $120. And as a general rule of thumb, you shouldn't be charging anything less than $100 to do a job. Once you've established regular clients, you can think about offering a loyalty discount of some kind to keep them coming back to you. Pressure washing profits. After planning for everything we've mentioned, making money with pressure washing is actually quite easy. New pressure washing businesses often earn between $40,000 to $50,000 in their very first year. Considering startup costs range up to $25,000 on the high end, you're pretty likely to see a huge return on your investment as long as there is demand for pressure washing in your area. Over time, you can scale up and start earning substantially more than that. If you get to the point where you hire on employees and develop a substantial client base, you could potentially make 6 or 7 figures a year, with your employees doing all of the work for you. Pressure washing alternatives. If you're concerned about the permits, equipment, or other costs associated with pressure washing, maybe you'd be interested in a more passive side hustle opportunity. Check out our video here on starting a vending machine business, which could be even more profitable by requiring almost no time whatsoever. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one.